Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. 1 minute. Sarah, will you check to make sure Stephanie's okay? She's not connected yet. There she is. Never mind. Mr. Tran, please turn on your video. Mr. Pham, I'm gonna have to move on. Your client's not turning his video on.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm putting y'all back in the waiting room.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sarah, help me out here. We're on the record in 24 CCR 239772, stated Texas versus Christopher King. Mr. Lindsay, it's your motion.
Good afternoon, Judge. On behalf of Mr. King, I filed a motion for travel permission. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. With an attached order. Judge, I don't know if you've had a chance to review the motion and order, but Mr. King is asking for permission to travel from his home in Fulshire, Fort Bend County, to Puerto Rico, which is, of course, a U.S. territory. When he was initially arrested and charged back in January of this year, is my recollection, he surrendered his passport because he was initially accused of a felony offense. That offense was changed to a misdemeanor deadly conduct. Aside from this one arrest, he has no criminal history. He is a businessman, business owner. He and his wife own at least two. They're called Dogtopia. They're animal care and dog sheltering facilities. And he would like to be able to travel to Puerto Rico so that he may join his wife and daughter, who are already there, for an annual family reunion. His wife is a native of Puerto Rico and has extended family there, and Chris would like to join them.
State.
I leave it to the court's discretion, Your Honor.
Does the sheriff's office still have his passport?
They do. We have not yet asked for it back because he has not had a circumstance or situation that would require his passport for travel. Well, I can't say the sheriff's office has it. He has surrendered it, and we have not yet asked for it back.
When does he return?
The return date is on or about August 4th. He has not yet booked his travel plans or arrangements. As soon as he does, I can provide the court with a date certain. Assuming you grant his request for permission.
Who's Santiago Martinez?
Want to hear from me on that issue, Judge? It's a person unknown to Mr. King. Mr. Martinez was in Mr. King's backyard when Mr. King returned home at about 10:30 a.m. on a weekday. He had forgotten some tools and other material he needed to go to one of his business locations. Found Mr. Martinez in the backyard. According to Chris, Mr. Martinez did not identify himself. He was not wearing any distinctive clothing that would identify him as a contractor. Mr. Martinez had parked a truck out in the street in front of Mr. King's home, but that truck did not bear any lights. There were no cones. There was nothing distinctive about it, identifying it as a utility contractor, though on further awareness, there was a magnetic placard on the back door of his four-door truck. There ensued a verbal confrontation about whether Mr. Martinez would have to go. Yeah. I just want to let you know it's a person who's not known to Mr. King. There's no relationship between them, in other words, if that was your question.
I'll grant your motion. He can travel out of state for that limited period of time.
Very good. Thanks, Judge.
Thank you. You're free to go.
You need anything else from us?
I should have your order. I'll get it signed here shortly.
Great. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too.
May we be excused?
Yes, you may.
Then next on the docket, Judge, during arraignment, he was going to hire an attorney, but I don't see one listed in case.
Move on, next one. Segura's. Wang.
Hello, Judge.
Good afternoon.
I don't know what happened. Well, my camera's not coming on.
We're waiting for your client to connect. All right, let's get started. We're on the record 23 CCR 237159, State of Texas versus Jing Wang. Mr. Segura, your update on the case, please.
We expect to sign his PTI agreement next week.
Very good. All right, notify the court once he's signed up with his PTI.
Very well. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Gonzalez.
I just saw Miss Alanis in the courtroom.
We're on the record in 23 CCR 237-06060, State of Texas versus Luis Gonzalez. Ms. Alanis, why don't you give the court an update on the case?
Good afternoon, Judge. I'm here with my client in Court 1. I spoke to the prosecutor yesterday. I believe that we're waiting on receipts for restitution. So that's where we're currently at. It was, I think, Ian's case before this, before today, but I think the restitution receipts were still not provided to the state yet. And once the state gets them, then they're going to provide it to me.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the update. We'll see you in court on October 8th.
Yes, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
We're on the record in 23 CCR 236353, State of Texas versus Clarissa Ceja. All right, Mr. Longoria, why don't you give the court an update on the case?
Okay, Judge, everything's going fine. We've seen the discovery, talked to client, talked to state. We have an offer of the pretrial diversion, retail theft, and my client and mother spoke to them yesterday, and they will be taking that. I think she needed a week, 10 days or so to come up with the 300 initial payment, and we should be good to go.
All right. Perfect. Hopefully she'll have entered the program before the next setting on October 8th.
Judge, if I may, I thought we had a July 31st setting, but hopefully we'll
You
get
do,
signed off.
actually. You do. I'm sorry. July 31st is the next setting. Hopefully
Right.
she's in that program by then as well.
Yes, Judge. Agreed.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Longoria. You're free
Thank
to
you,
go.
Judge. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Judge, I do not see defendant for this next case.
Crew,
Hey, Judge, how are you?
I'm good. We do not have Hagen.
Yes. So I thought we were supposed to appear on the 31st. I realized that we still had to appear today. For him, we've been offered 2 classes for a dismissal. So I was hopeful that maybe you would be kind about his appearance today. And I told him to have everything done by the next setting, and it should be dismissed on the next setting, if that's okay with Your Honor.
State.
At this point, Judge, as long as the dismissal materials are provided by next setting, I wouldn't ask for bond forfeiture at this point, given the fact it will ultimately end in dismissal.
Judge, is he in the attorney-client room?
Are you Hagen?
I don't believe so.
He's muted. Is that your client, Mr. Krug?
I don't believe so, Judge.
No.
Oh, it isn't, Mr. Hagen?
Oh, he's present.
Great.
Okay.
Perfect.
If that's the case, I definitely don't ask for bond forfeiture, Judge.
And at least
Okay. All right, well, I got the update now, Mr. Krug, so I know what's going on with the case.
Thank you. And at least he's heard everything as well.
And hopefully by the next setting on 31st, it's dismissed.
That is my hope as well, Judge.
Okay. All right. Your client is free to go, and we should
Thank you.
have Candelera connecting right now. We're on the record, 23 CCR 236764, State of Texas versus Iva Candelaria. Mr. Krug,
I
update.
guess, Judge. So I got an email from Ms. Chapa this morning saying that I've got a disc to pick up. So I will probably pick that up hopefully sometime next week, possibly in advance of that docket. She also said there's a CAC interview that's not on there that I need to schedule a time to meet. So I just got to look at my schedule for next week and figure out an afternoon I can go out there.
Thank you for the update. You're free to go. You and your client.
Right. Thank you, Judge. Good to see you. Yep.
Good to
Thank
see you.
See you, Marissa. Thanks again for helping.
You're welcome. Bye. Oh, he left.
The next defendant is in the courtroom.
Jalen Harvey.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We're on the record in 23 CCR 236383 State of Texas versus Jalen Harvey. Mr. Craig, your update.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. There's been an offer made on the case. I have not been able to communicate with Mr. Harvey to see if he wants to accept or reject that offer. And I need to pick up some discovery, which I should be able to do tomorrow morning.
You have not gotten all your discovery? Well, you've got a compliance date on the 31st. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you for the update, Mr. Craig. You and your client are free to go. We'll see you back on the 31st.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too.
We're done now in the waiting room.
Do we have the next one? Serrano?
I don't see either attorney or defendant.
We'll come back. Lee, go to Lee. There you go. We're on the record 22 CCR 228-115 and 226-878 State of Texas versus Tucker Lee. Mr. Melcher, why don't you give the court an update?
Yes, Your Honor. Basically, this case is a little bit of complicated. This is an MRP based on a new offense, and this is the new offense is the sole violation in the MRP. However, Mr. Tucker has hired a retained attorney on the actual new assault offense. I did get all the discovery from the state as of today regarding the MRP and its new offense, and I've relayed an offer. But Mr. Lee needs to get with his retained attorney on how they want to, I guess, move forward on the assault case, and whether or not we want to try to resolve it together separately. So I'm going to ask the court that the August 2nd hearing date be pushed back a little bit so that way we can work that out, since I have to deal with another attorney. And this is the only violation is this new offense.
I'm denying that request. The date will stay on August 2nd. And you and the new defense counsel can come in on that date, and you can make an argument that day and provide an update to this court of whether on why this court should grant you a continuance. But right now, no.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You and your client are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I do not see defendant number 14 in the waiting room. And
I
I'm
move on to Green.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. All right, we're on the record in 22 CCR 228873, State of Texas versus DeAndre Green. Mr. Davidson, give the court an update.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Green and I have been in contact. I've also been speaking with Mr. Scoville about possible resolution of this case. We're kind of waiting to hear from the complaining witnesses' about insurance issues, possibly, if it got paid off or not. That will determine what direction the state wants to take this for resolution.
All right, thank you for the update. Your next court setting is on September 12th for a pretrial conference. Hopefully y'all can come up with a game plan on this case pretty quickly.
Hopefully.
All right, y'all have a good one. Thank you.
Is Miss Martin in as well?
Yeah, we're gonna pull Martin in next.
Okay, perfect.
I do not see her in the waiting room.
Ms. Martin is not in the waiting room?
No, sir, Judge, we don't have Martin actually in the courtroom.
You have Ashley Martin in the courtroom?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Your Honor, I haven't been able to
Davidson,
contact her since her last court date.
do you want to try to locate her?
I'll do what I can. I've called all the numbers I have before I logged into this. I'll call them again. And if I don't hear anything by the end of the docket, I'll let the court know.
All right, very good. Put you back in the waiting room. Sarah, move on to the next case.
They are in person, Judge.
All right, Wright. Lonesti Wright.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just forwarded you a dismissal from Colin on this case. Rodica was.
I just received dismissal materials from defense counsel right before docket, Your Honor. I sent the dismissal to Sarah just now.
Okay. Rodriguez.
They are in person. Sorry, Judge.
Rosario Rodriguez.
Hello, Judge. We're here on Rosario Rodriguez.
All right, we're on the record in 23 CCR 236509, State of Texas versus Rosario Rodriguez Perez. Counselor, why don't you give me an update?
We're working out a plea bargain right now, Your Honor. We're working on the particulars. I think we're pretty close to being there. If we could just move to the next status hearing, I think we'll either set it for a plea before then, or that's likely what's going to happen.
Okay. All right. Next date, you've got a compliance date on 7/31. That's in-person docket.
That's in. Can we? Is that one that's still waivable once because we've already received all the discovery?
Once you sign off on the discovery log and submit it, it will be waived.
We will make sure to do that. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Brown.
Do not see attorney in waiting room.
Move on. Next case, Douglas.
Oh, he's in person.
Sorry?
He's in person.
Douglas? Sashu Douglas?
No, the attorney for Brown.
Okay. Bring Brown in. All right, we're on the record in 24 CCR 237449, State of Texas versus LaPortia Brown. Defense counsel, give me an update.
Yes, Your Honor, Attorney Neesmith for LaPortia Brown appointed. I have an email from Marissa Chapa. I had a situation where I could not log into either the Odyssey or download the links. That has since been fixed right after Barrel, Your Honor. And if still pending for myself and Ms. Chapa, would like to push it back to that discovery compliance date of July 31st.
All right, we'll see you on July 31st.
Thank you, Your Honor. May my client also attend that day via Zoom?
That is an in-person docket, unless, of course, you submit that discovery log to the court prior to docket, then appearance is waived.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Who do we lose?
Defendant.
We're on the record 23 CCR 235003, State of Texas versus Hashu Douglas. Ms. Moore, why don't you give the court an update?
Ms. Douglas is doing a retail theft program. I've gone over the application with her. She's paid her fee and she has an appointment tomorrow. Well, she's going tomorrow at 1 o'clock to complete that and meet with probation thereafter.
Yeah. Once she signs up and enters the program, let the court know.
Okay.
Thank y'all. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vargas.
They are in person, Judge.
We're on the record in 23 CCR 235070, State of Texas versus Josue Vargas. Counselor, give me an update.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm here with Mr. Vargas. We have received all discovery. We have received an offer. I expect that we'll have a plea ready by the next setting.
Your next setting is on October 8th. Do you want to set a plea date now?
Yes, sir. If we could even do it sometime in September or in August, that would be fine. I just need to shoot a quick email to Mr. Scoville, which I plan to do after this setting.
Sarah, give him a date in August.
I have August 1st at 1:30.
1 second. Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
Counsel, can you state your name, please?
My name is Hector P. Sanchez. My bar number is 241-325-09. I'm here on behalf of the Rivera Bojosa Law Firm.
Thank you.
All right. You're set for a plea on August 1st at 1:30 p.m. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Judge.
Spot deck.
I don't see defendant in waiting room.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Doggett. We're on the record in 23 CCR 233745, State of Texas versus Anthony Svatek. Mr. Doggett, why don't you give the court an update on what's going on?
I've been in touch with the prosecutor and we're just waiting to hear back from her. She's got to talk to the complainant.
Okay. We just lost the prosecutor. Hold on one second, Mr. Doggett.
Judge, I know her internet's been going in and out. She's having some technical difficulties right now.
I think that's twice now during this hearing we've lost her. Aren't
Yes,
you in
sir.
the same office?
Yes. So I don't know what IT person she made mad, but apparently she did.
All right, let's just give her a second to get back on so she can have any input if necessary.
Funny enough, Miss Chapa just walked into my office, Judge, so.
Oh, well, what? She should just pull up a chair.
I keep getting kicked out. Where's your camera?
Right there.
I keep getting kicked out. My internet keeps going out.
Okay.
But I'm here.
Did you hear what Mr. Doggett said?
No, Judge, I did not.
All right, Mr. Doggett, why don't you give the court an update one more time?
Ms. Chapa and I spoke this morning and she indicated that she's trying to reach out to the complainant. And so then she's going to get back to me after she talks to the complainant.
Anything you'd like to add, Ms. Chapa?
No, I don't. Let it be.
All right, very good. Okay, next setting is going to be on October 8th. We'll see you then, Mr. Doggett.
All right, thank you.
Is she going to pull up a chair, Mr. Scoville? Okay.
I believe that's actually her last case, Judge.
Yeah, but I'm
Afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, Mr. Captillo. How are you today?
Doing well, sir. Doing well.
Good.
How's
Mr. Martinez, would you turn your video on? Perfect. We're on the record in 23 CCR 235-226, State of Texas versus Eduardo Martinez. Mr. Captillo, why don't you give the court an update?
The state has provided discovery for me. I've reviewed it. I'm waiting for the state to extend an offer so I can discuss that with Mr. Martinez and then go over his options between their offer, negotiating their offer, and or setting it for trial.
Your Honor, my understanding was a safe start offer was extended to Mr. Capetillo. The defendant appears to be TRAS eligible, so a TRAS evaluation just needs to be scheduled.
Okay, then I need to discuss that with him. I didn't see that offer come through because I know there was like a car wreck, so I automatically assume he was not eligible. But if that's the offer, that's great. I will get that to him and discuss it with him and get back to you pretty quick.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, very good. Thank you for the update, Mr. Captillo. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, sir.
I do not see defendant, Judge.
Okay. Is Arthur Perez in the courtroom?
Your Honor, he excuse me, he can be ready on the WebEx. I wasn't sure, on Zoom, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if he needed to be present today.
He does.
Okay.
Can you get him on?
Yes, sir. Hold on just 1 second.
Sure. Ms. Parker, I'm going to go to the next case. We'll come back to you.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. All right, we're on the record in 21 CCR 225-278, State of Texas versus Vicente Castillo. Mr. Runcie, can you provide the court with an update?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke with DA Scoville this morning, and we have agreed to do a time served on this case. My client does work out in the oil field, so I was going to ask if the court would allow us to set this for a plea on August 27th when he would be back in town.
Sarah, what dates do we have?
We do not have anything late August due to juvenile. The first one in September I have is September 3rd at 9 a.m.
We have September 3rd at 9 a.m.
Sir, let me just double check. Yeah, that's perfect for me, Judge.
All right. You are set for a plea on September 3rd at 9 a.m. It's in person. We'll see you in court.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day.
You're free to go.
Thank you.
Campbell. We're on the record in 23 CCR 232879, State of Texas versus Jacoby Campbell. Ms. Norman, would you care to give the court an update?
Good afternoon, Judge. I have emailed Mr. Scoville an issue to look into for this case, but that email was just sent this morning. I'm hopeful that in the next week or so, he'll have an opportunity to look into the issue that I've asked him to, and that we will have a resolution before the pretrial date.
All right. Thank you for the update. Y'all are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Carter,
I do not have defendant nor attorney in the living room.
move on. Winfield. We're on the record in 20 CCR 219458, State of Texas versus Angel Winfield. Mr. Furlano, an update.
Yes, Judge. I've talked with Mr. Winfield, and I have his motion to adjudicate guilt here in front of me. I went over that with him. He informs me that although he has done some things late, he has completed everything. I've asked him to please confirm that with his probation officer, because that's the person who should know the most about this. I've also gotten a response from the prosecutor as to what they're recommending. And I told the prosecutor we need to hear back from the probation officer concerning whether he's completed his all his obligations under his deferred. And so that's where we are right now. We're just waiting to hear back from probation.
All right. You've got a MRP hearing.
Yes.
On August 2nd.
Correct.
All right. No delays. We'll see you then. If you've got it worked out by then, great. If not, we're going to have a hearing that day.
Understood, Judge.
Okay. Y'all are free to go. Thank you.
Judge, appreciate it.
We're on the record in 21 CCR 221807, State of Texas versus Jasmine Hernandez. Mr. Gibbons, why don't you give the court an update on the case?
Your Honor, how are you? Good to see you again. I conferred with the state today on this matter. Basically, the entirety of the discovery is in and we're reviewing it. The state informed me that, there is no formal offer as of yet, but because it's a marijuana DWI case or DUI case, the state is leaning towards potentially some sort of class and dismissal type situation. of course, that's up to the state. So as soon as that formal offer comes in, I'll naturally take it to my client and then we'll go from there.
Okay, well, pre-trial's on 9/12 with trial on October 1st. Y'all need to hurry up and figure out what you're gonna do with the case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Y'all are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Washington.
Washington's present, Judge, she's ready.
His attorney is not in the waiting room.
Is his attorney in the courtroom by chance?
No, sir, there's nobody else in the courtroom.
Have you spoken to your attorney, Mr. Washington?
Not recently. Not since probably around like the last court date.
All right, Mr. Washington, we'll come right back to you. Just have a seat in the courtroom.
Gotcha. Sir.
Richardson.
I'm not sure who is appearing for her. I emailed them earlier and I have not got a response.
Top of the docket. Let's go. Let's go back to Tran.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're on the record in 22 CCR 225602, State of Texas versus Michael Tran. All right, we're here for a motion for early termination. Mr. Pham, your argument.
Your Honor, it appears that Mr. Tran has complied with all conditions of his probation. He was recommended by his probation officer to contact his attorney to file for early termination.
Let me hear from probation real quick.
One, probation, we do not recommend that they contact an attorney about early termination. That is solely upon the defendant to do. But me reviewing his case, he actually, let me see, his conditions. He's completed his conditions. He is, let me look what his fees. He owes $50 and they have him on the mail-in maintenance list, so he's compliant with that.
State.
Your Honor, due to the defendant's delinquency and paying the fees, the state would be opposed to early term.
Mr. Pham, your response.
Your Honor, could Mr. Tran make payment tomorrow, and then state, would you have any objections if he was to make the payment tomorrow?
Here's what I'm gonna do, Mr. Pham.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm gonna reset this case for a follow-up hearing. I recommend to your client that he be in compliance with every single one of his conditions by the next setting.
Yes, Your Honor.
August 1st at 2:30.
Yes, Your Honor.
We will discuss it then. All right, y'all are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Which I'm not sure who Mr. Stevens is here for.
Let's deal with Rodriguez next. William Rodriguez. We'll save Mr. Stevens for last and bring him in to figure out what he's here for. Mr. Rodriguez, you need to unmute yourself.
I just got an email from James.
Is he here for this case? Okay. Mr. Stevens, are you here for the Rodriguez case? William Rodriguez. You need to unmute yourself, sir.
Yes, I am. William Anthony Rodriguez.
All right, we're on the record in 20 CCR 217-964, State of Texas versus William Rodriguez. Mr. Stevens, why don't you give the court an update?
Judge, he contacted me last night. He's already retained me. I actually filed a notice of appearance and accidentally put court 6 on there, but I've already corrected that when they rejected it and it was accepted. So you should see it or see it soon. It's a DWLI. It's pretty straightforward. I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick. You just needed to take a class and pay a fee, reinstatement fee or something like that.
Okay. Well, next setting is pretrial on 9/12, so hopefully he can get all that done by then.
Yes, I'm encouraging you to get it all done.
And Your Honor, just for clarification, Mr. Stevens, offer on the.
Couldn't hear you. You're echoing, Colin.
Yeah, could you repeat that?
Mr. Stevens, just for clarification, the offer on the file is the defendant either obtain a ODL or he reinstates the license with 6 months prepaid insurance.
Okay. The only thing I didn't know about was 6 months prepaid, but we can do that.
Okay.
You'll do it. Okay.
All right. You're free.
All righty. We'll knock it out, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Y'all are free to go. Ariana Serrano. I don't see them in the waiting room, Sarah. Do you?
No, I received an email from Mr. Darnell. He made a mistake since the discovery compliance got reset. He did not calendar this date.
All right. We'll hold on. Do you want to hold off on it? What do you want to do? Mr. Scoville.
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor.
All right.
I would say, I know I've been in contact with defense counsel, Mr. Darnell, on this case. So at this point, I believe this was one of those cases that just got kind of moved around due to the trial. So at this point, I would just hold off until the next setting, Judge.
All right. Make sure they appear on 7/31, Sarah. Okay. We have Hollins, Jennifer Hollins.
No, and nobody from the PD's office is in the waiting room.
Motion.
State moves for bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
Bailiff, if you would call the name.
No answer for Jennifer Hollins in the hallway, Judge.
All right. Motion's granted. New bond set at $2,500. Any bond conditions?
Standard conditions, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. Let's move to Ashley Martin.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I've got Miss Martin on my phone. She's desperately trying to download Zoom onto any device in her house.
I'm right back to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's go to Arthur Perez. All right, Ms. Parker, let's get your client fully connected.
He is there. I told him to mute and turn off his camera until you were ready for him.
I'm sending him a note to turn on his camera.
Thank you, Judge.
There we go. We're on the record in 22 CCR 226426, State of Texas versus Arthur Lee Perez. Ms. Parker, your update.
Yes, Your Honor, we have received an offer from the state in this case, and I'm still hoping that we can do some negotiating on what he has offered for us. I've reviewed the motion to revoke. A lot of the allegations that are in it are from last year. Since that time, he's made significant improvements, and I just think that he needs something a little different than what has been offered. So hopefully we can come to that agreement soon.
It's got to be quick because August 2nd is his MRP hearing.
Yes, Your Honor, I know. I understand.
All right. Thank y'all. Y'all are free
Thank
to
you.
go.
Thank you so much.
Nehemiah Carter.
Haven't got a response from the attorney.
Nehemiah Carter in the courtroom.
No, sir. No, Judge.
State.
State moves for bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
Bailiff.
I'll call it 3 times.
Thank you.
No answer for Nehemiah Carter at 3:36, Judge.
Thank you. New bond set at 4,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
Washington.
He's present in the courtroom, Judge. I'll bring him right in.
Thank you. To Washington, your attorney is not present. We're going to pass your hearing today because of that. Your next setting will be your pretrial conference on September 12th at 9 a.m. That is an in-person docket.
Okay, sounds good.
You're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Bring in Richardson to find out. Maybe she knows who's appearing for her or where they are for that matter.
Hi,
Miss Richardson, who is your attorney?
Tony Holly.
Okay, will your attorney be appearing?
I assume she's the one that sent me all this information because I had my my IOP this morning.
Okay. I do not have your attorney present.
Okay. Is it okay if I just text her really quick?
We'll come back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Afternoon.
They seem to be having issues with their internet. Is there any way we can hold the KPS until tomorrow morning and have her come in then?
State.
I would be unopposed to that, Your Honor.
All right. I want her to appear tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll let her know and tell her to be there at 8:30.
Very good. Thank you. You're free to go.
All right. Okay, Ms. Martin.
Ms. Richardson. You're muted.
Hi. I sent her a message and she hasn't responded. I told her they were asking where you were, where she wasn't asking, and I asked her if she was going to get on the call, the Zoom.
Okay. You're my last case. I'm going to give her a few more minutes to
Okay.
attorney. And if they don't, we're going to pass your hearing.
Okay.
Ms. Richardson.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go ahead and pass your hearing.
Not to be like dingy. What does that mean?
Meaning your next setting is going to be on August 2nd in person in my courtroom for your MRP hearing.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you then.
Okay, thank you.
I believe that takes care of all the cases. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. May we be excused?
You may.
Bye, Judge.